Well, welcome everybody to this new edition of TRL's Transport Foresight Insights. In this series of short vlogs, we explore the future of transport by digging into the emerging trends and uncertain futures affecting a rapidly evolving transport system. In this episode, we take a look at TRL's recently published white paper, The Digital Evolution of Highways Infrastructure Asset Management. This article explores the benefits and challenges associated with the emerging trends in data-driven intelligent asset management and the practical actions that local road operators can take to leverage the full benefits of this digital evolution. Today, we're sitting down with Dr. Alex Wright from TRL, author of the Digital Evolution of Highways Infrastructure Asset Management white paper. Alex, great to have you here. Please tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, I'm Alex Wright. I'm Chief Technologist at TRL. I've been at TRL about 25 years, and I'm leading our program of work integrating new technologies into the assessment of management of highway assets. So that's included leading the implementation of high-speed survey systems for asset condition assessment using video and laser systems, and introducing national surveys such as the track survey on trunk roads and the scanner survey on the local authority road network, and more recently our transitioning of structural condition surveys. I'm currently guiding our work in asset management, exploring new types of data available for national and local authorities, and exploring how the integration of this data into asset management systems could help improve the business of asset management.
So, this article explores the emerging digital evolution of highways infrastructure asset management. What do you mean by asset management for highways infrastructure, and what does a digitally enabled future look like?
Effectively, an asset is any physical resource that could provide an economic benefit or usefulness to a road authority. So in the highway sector, these are primarily associated with structures, pavements, lighting, signs, and technology that you would see around you on the road network every day. But there's also a lot of less visible assets associated with asset management, such as the data that is used to manage the asset and the software and systems that are used to understand the condition of the asset and make decisions. So traditionally, asset management is carried out against well-defined standards such as ISO 55000, and an organization would develop an asset management strategy and its principles for the lifecycle management of an asset. This would begin with quite basic phases such as establishing the business case for the procurement or construction of the asset in the first place, and then the life cycle operation, maintenance, and disposal of the asset as it reaches the end of its life. Interestingly, as we have quite a well-developed highways network, we're not spending a lot of time doing large-scale construction or a large part of asset management being associated with the construction and design and business case phase. A lot of it is associated with the maintenance and management of it during its operational phase. Although actually for shorter lifetime assets like lighting systems and technology, there may be more of that component. But during the lifetime of an asset manager must draw upon various types of data, which would encompass the definition of the asset and the technical and physical attributes that describe it, and help the asset manager understand what that asset is and what its condition is. Now, a digitally enabled future of asset management would aim to exploit the opportunities that are now becoming available with the newer types of technologies and data that asset managers can have access to understand the condition of their asset and the level of service it's providing. And these could include various technologies such as remote monitoring systems using drone and satellite systems, building intelligence into the assets such as Internet of Things and sensor networks, which can provide up-to-date and real-time information on the status of the asset, and even other sort of remote sensing technologies like the data that could be provided by the cars that you and I are driving around the network in, and the data provided by the smartphone apps that have become pervasive in day-to-day life. And this data must then be combined with tools by the asset manager to utilize the information and make suitable decisions on the requirements for the asset. And that is the digital evolution of the asset management process.
Yeah, thanks, Alex. Well, what are the key challenges facing a successful transition to this digitally enabled future?
So there are clear technological challenges that we need to overcome. in order to implement these technologies for this digital transformation of asset management, each with its own challenge. And at the start, we firstly need to fully understand the data itself to make sure that it will bring out value for the asset management process. We need to overcome the issues of access to the data and how we communicate it. How does it get from its source to the user? And this, for example, could be for Internet of Things sensors, getting it through the internet into asset management systems, or more complicated challenges of data from vehicles. And we also need to understand the business case or the value it will provide, so we can balance the cost of accessing this information from these new technologies with the value that will be provided by having that data. On the asset management side, there's also a number of challenges. The current strategies and policies which are used by asset managers today are based on traditional approaches to the management of assets using data which has traditionally been available from traditional inspections, for example. And once we have data available with higher levels of quality, resolution, timeliness, as in it is being made available continuously and providing a very up-to-date knowledge of asset condition, the whole process that an asset manager may employ to draw on that data to make decisions might change, and the standards that are used to suggest how an asset manager may use that data may not be appropriate. That passes on to the decision support tools where those standards are applied, and those tools, they accommodate the data and they use it to make decisions against the strategies that's set down by the local authority. They tend to deploy low intensity generalized data on asset condition and not high resolution specific data on individual bits of an asset. And your decision support tools may need to be adopted to use that data. Also, we might need to develop tools that help asset managers visualize the data that they're getting, which currently aren't a focus of current systems. For example, this could include merging the data from traditional asset management systems with the newer approach of BIM, the Building Information Modeling systems that provide three-dimensional, more real-world representations of asset data, but tend to be based on designs and not condition. So by bringing together the data that comes from the design and representation from BIM systems with lifecycle asset management approaches from asset management systems, you could transform the way that you use that data to visualize the condition and manage the asset.
That's very interesting, Alex. And you mentioned decision support tools and data visualization there. What actions can stakeholders take to ensure that they successfully transition to this digitally enabled future?
Well, the white paper, which is what we're talking about, has suggested 5 steps or pillars to help in the evolution of the highways asset management to this digital vision. And I think this falls back on addressing some of those challenges which I've raised, which is the first step being identifying and understanding the benefits the data can offer, to create a firm foundation to help asset managers understand the types of data that can be collected, where, how often, and at what frequency and resolution, and then how these new data types would fit in with their current approaches. Then, in the second step, we would examine the data in more detail to understand its value and benefit to the road owners. And what we have suggested in the white paper is that a framework be developed to help understand this and carry out this evaluation. So you would enable authorities to carry out a common evaluation. For example, to quantify the cost benefits of the new data and technology in asset management. And this would then lead directly into the third step, which would help road administrations establish the business cases to support the investment they might need to make in these new technologies. And this would help deliver a more of a transformation as rather a drip feed as available commercial processes and systems come along. So this will give us a structured approach, and individual road administrations or local authorities will then be able to make clear business decisions on the investments they might make. In the fourth step in the white paper, we're proposing that the first 3 steps would be built upon to understand how the new data types could be incorporated within the asset management systems. And we've identified a need for development of new standards and specifications to achieve this. And that will enable road administrations to integrate the new data types that are going to be provided and enable them to address the cross-platform questions which I discussed earlier about BIM and traditional asset management systems, where Data standards are really important in order to help asset management systems and BIM systems talk to each other and share data. And then in the final stage, it's implementation. So it's build on what we've done, build on the progress we've made in the fourth, and get systems rolled out. This isn't a final thing, though. This is what we're proposing in the asset white paper is a program to make progress. The actual progress is made after stage 5, where things start rolling out, where we have a platform available so that asset owners can start making use of this new data.
What are the benefits to key stakeholders such as asset owners, managers, and the supply chain for you know uh, a successful transition?
We've identified 3 groups of stakeholders that would benefit from this transition. And I'll start off with the most obvious one, which is the stakeholders that own the assets, the local road authorities, national road authorities. And their real benefit they're going to achieve as soon as this data becomes available to them is be able to make better, more informed decisions about the management of their assets. They can make decisions about the technologies they might deploy in those assets to help them understand what their condition is and the type of data that they might seek from those new technologies. They'll then be able to plan for the organizational skills, capability changes that they might need to make to be ready for these changes. Because it's not just about technology and data, it may require organizational adaptation to a new type of working. And once this is carried out successfully, those organizations should be able to see clear returns in terms of cost benefits on the investments they've made in new technologies. The technology providers themselves will get a clear understanding of the market available for them. They'll be able to see what it is that local road administrations are wanting from them, and they'll be able to develop their programs of technology development in order to meet those requirements. They'll be able to themselves again invest in the right skills within their businesses to deliver these products. And they'll be able to see new business opportunities emerging as road administrations begin to understand the benefit and the tools that are becoming available. Finally, we have discussed in the paper the benefits that standards bodies might be able to gain from this transformation. So the standard bodies are the ones there who are helping steer the direction of change and define the standards that new systems may need to adhere to in order to talk to each other and work. Now, these standards bodies, having seen what the call for the data is and what the data is available, will be able to develop the new standards based on a real and true need and understanding of the requirements. And they'll be able to actively influence the direction of change in the delivery and the use of data. So this will become an integral component to draw higher value from the innovation provided by these new technologies, and hopefully help bring together the technology software providers, hardware providers, and asset owners.
Well, thank you for all those very interesting insights, Alex, to your white paper, the digital evolution of highways infrastructure asset management, and thank you for your contribution to this vlog.
Thank you.